Hello everyone, my name is Matt and I am the creator over at webgamesetcetera.com, and this is our third video in the Wizard of Ooze series. This is my very first demo game release using the RPG Maker MV engine, and we are going to pick up at the end of level number 1, which was the last video. If you haven't seen the first and the second video where I walk through the Apex and I roll through level 1, it explains a lot of what's going on, a lot of information that I'm not going to go over each time as we continue along the way. So here for level number 2, we're going to continue. We're going to pick up where we left off, and it shows here in file number 1 that we were at level our character development is at level 2. Our playtime is at 22 minutes. That's because I'm talking during a lot of it and taking time to explain stuff. Our total save so far is just this one. Our pickup count previously is 60. We haven't found any secrets yet, but we have killed 2 mobs, and we haven't died yet in the process. So we're going to load file number 1. And we left off right here at the level 1 completed screen. I had turned off hints with the gem. I'm going to go back into items right now and hint gems, and I'm going to turn those back on so that as we demo the game, we've got the full benefit. So as we crawl out of the depths, we come up into the dungeon. We were tossed down into the depths below the dungeon to be eaten by the oozes down there. But we vanquished them and we survived. And right off the bat, we're being greeted by this little ooze walking the aisles. And he is a dark blue ooze. I don't have enough TP to identify him right off the bat. But since he's blue, which has typically indicated water, and since I know earth damage is a little bit stronger to water than the other 2 damages, water or fire, I'm going to go ahead and just take a guess, and I'm going to lead with a static spark and do 108 damage. He's going to attack back. That's got a blue attack with water bubbles coming off of it, once again reinforcing the idea that he is a water element based mob. But now I've got 22 TP, so I don't have to guess. I'm going to go back into magic, and I'm going to use my identify spell that requires 20 TP, and it's going to tell me that he's a water ooze. Water ooze, oh yes he is. With a max HP starting of 415, so they're getting a little tougher. Max MP of 224, he's over half mana, which is not surprising given that he's a water-based elemental animal. Cast water and waterfalls. So that's water and waterfalls. That's 2 water spells. Waterfalls we haven't heard of yet. He is weak to earth, and the constant gurgling, it gets really annoying. He attacks again with a water-based attack. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to lay down some earth hurt. And I'm going to hit him with a lightning strike with a static spark. He's going to cast waterfalls. We hadn't seen that yet. That's a big waterfall. That's a big dropping of water upon you. I don't know if you've seen the things online where they take, gallons and gallons and gallons, like 100,000 gallons of water and drop it on a car. That'll crush it. That will crush a car. Just, dumping a tank of water on it all at once. So, now, at this point, we have developed enough TP that we can hit him with the old Hero Shout. Hero Shout costs 50 TP. It hits all targets. It does critical. And it does light damage, and this guy's got no health left, so he won't survive it. Hero was victorious. We can see here that I've got the new gradient in the dungeon, has got its own battle back. This battle back has been put together with default pieces out of the RPG Maker MV. I am using their default wall tiles, but I'm kind of shifting them a bit, I'm coloring them a bit, and then I'm given this new gradient down here, and that will be consistent throughout the dungeon. I get an animation right away letting me know that I found the blue cell key, and as I go around and investigate these doors, I see that they're all locked. I see that these green mossy doors have kind of this green animation. I see that these red tinged doors have this red locked animation. And since I was just told I have the blue key, let's see, did I get that? Do I show that as an actual? I don't. You just have the key. You just have it. It's not an item. Now that I have the blue key, I can assume that, and I see that, this stuff is red and this stuff is green. I'm going to assume that that means that I can open these blue tinged doors down here. And which one I open ends up being kind of important. I see that these guys have treasure chests in their cells. See, that guy's got a barrel. I don't know what's in it. And I notice that they kind of follow me along and they move kind of slow. So I'm going to just kind of get him over to the right and run in and go for the chest. I got 3 health potions and I got new leather armor, which will equip automatically. So I know I'm wearing the leather armor. I don't even have to check it. It equips automatically. I did not take care of myself running into this combat, so I only have 198 HP. And I've got a colored ooze here that I haven't seen before. And again, these are all colored by me. They give you 1 ooze with the default graphics with the RPG Maker MV. And I took the blue ooze and I colored him all these different colors. And so now we've got a yellow guy. We don't have enough TP to identify him yet, so we don't know what his deal is. So I'm just going to go with the default here. I'm going to use Static Spark. That's going to do some damage, 76 right off the bat. He's going to attack. It's got a lightning kind of an effect and a green. So that kind of gives me a clue right off the bat that he's an earth element. That also would match up well with his green tongue. And earth is weak to fire, and he's got red fire in his eye, which may be betraying his weakness. Those are all speculations on my part, but at this point we have 22 TP. So we can go straight into identify. And we see that he is a yellow ooze. He starts with a max HP of 360 and a max MP of 80, not quite as hardy as the blue guy we met in the aisle. He drools acid, so that's a good guess with the green coming out of his mouth, and he's weakest to fire. Yeah, it was betrayed in his eye. Don't get that spit on you. Yeah, don't get that on you. So he attacks again. It's an earth-based attack. MP's getting kind of HP. Hit points are getting kind of low, and we don't have much in the way of power points. So we're going to use our healing spell. We're going to put some meat back on our bones. He's going to use that chance to spit acid on us, and now we've got a poison. We've got this poison state right here, and we can see the poison coming off of us. So that acid has poisoned us. But now that we know that we can fight with fire, we're going to start laying down the hurt on this guy. He missed, so that basically is giving us a round to go with. So let's rain a little bit more down on him. 121 in damage, probably going to clean him up. He missed me that round, so I've got enough of a buffer. But I'm now out of TP. I don't have the 10 required to hit on the fire damage. Water costs 30. Static Spark costs 15, but I'm going to get more TP back for my water. So let's hit him with a little bit of water. He's not weak to it, but it still should do some damage. He's down 69. He hits me for 61. I gain a little bit back on my HP regen. I think if I hit him with magic, with fire, right here towards the end, as low as he is, it's going to take him out. So let's go look at the piece of leather armor that I picked up. That automatically equipped. That's got a defense of 6, a magic defense of 3, a magic HP plus 1, evasion of a plus 3%, and an HP regen of 1%. So I'm getting that little HP tick. You probably saw that little number popping up at the end of each round where I was getting that little green number popping up on me. That was the amount of HP that I was getting back from the regen on that. I believe, no, we don't have any other regen at the moment. So that's the little bit of health that's kicking back each turn. And our health is pretty low right now, and our magic is low. And we're sitting here inside this first cell that we've cleared, and there's this big blue pile here. And of course, when you don't know the first time and you're going to come along, you're going to find out it refreshes all of your mana. But since we've already played this a few times and we've learned that, we're going to take a moment before we replenish our mana, and we're going to use the mana that we have. And we're going to use that for Healing Surge. And we're going to run our health all the way up. And then we're going to touch this huge stack of mana. Your mana pool surges, and it's kind of tingly. So once that happens, that's reduced to rubble, and that's no longer effective. We have completely cleared this cell now. And we're going to make a run for it and run in here, but he's going to catch us on the way in the door. We're going to go straight to combat. Now, we don't have to identify him because we've learned that his traits, and we've learned that he's weak to fire, and we've seen that now in his eye, that, you know, he's got that red showing through, that's showing his, revealing his weakness to us. But we don't have enough TP for fire. So right off the bat, I'm going to hit him with some water. That'll do a little bit of damage. And it'll give me enough TP to roll with a couple times. Plus, he's going to hit me. That's going to give me some TP. And fire costs 10. So, with each little hit back, I'm going to gain some more TP. I've got enough to keep fire rolling. Managing your TP, managing your resources. The game's not hard. I give you everything you need to walk through it. You just got to pay attention to the clues, and you got to learn to manage your resources. And I've set up this dungeon to kind of train you to do that, as opposed to one big long tutorial. I've given you all these different colors of oozes. Let's open up this chest. We got 3 mana water, and we got new armor, Cloak of Mighty Magic. If we go and we look at that, we do see that that is already equipped. It puts the other one into your inventory. It equips the new one you pick up. You have a resistance, fire +3, earth +3, so those have gone up from 1% to 3. Your earth is worse in that resistance. It's -3. So the water nature of the cloak is, you know, it's vulnerable to earth magic and to earth damage. Defense +1, magic defense +3, magic MP +6, max MP +6, magic reflection +3, and MP regen +1. So now we're getting into some MP regen. So every turn we'll be regenerating 1% of our magic and 1% of our health. So even though these are lower level items, they're still pretty good when it comes to stats. And since we know that the big pile of blue stuff that we picked up was mana, we can probably guess that the big pile of green stuff there is health. We still are doing pretty good on health. We have at least half of it, and we've got 60 MP. I tell you what we're going to do. Let's just go see how this plays out. Here's our third blue door, and we don't have any other options. He's orange looking, which kind of is suggestive of fire, and his eye is blue, which may be betraying his weakness. I don't have much TP, but I do have mana. So let's start off with some water right off the bat. Let's do the 117 in damage. Oh, and he's going to hit me with fire, so he does look to be fire-based. Now we've got enough TP. Let's go identify him and find out for sure. So he's an orange ooze. Max HP is 405. Max MP is 77. He casts fire and napalm. So we were right about that orangish glow being fire-based. And he is weak to water. So that is being betrayed in that eye color. I love the smell of napalm and ooze. All right, so he's going to be laying down on me with fire. That's going to have missed. I'm going to regen my 5 health and my 3 mana. I'm going to go straight to water, baby. But that's using a lot of me mana. That is using a lot of me mana. Oh, a bounce back. The magic was reflected. We're doing pretty good here, but we are out of mana. Let's see what happens. How can we get through? We've got the green baton. Green is an earth element, and it's weak to fire, and he is fire-based. So our green baton is not doing as good as we really need it to be doing, but he's missing us too. So maybe we're just close enough in combat to kind of be Now, I have used combat, even in the face of not having much mana, to roll up my TP now to 53. So I can turn around and use Hero's Shout. And that is It's gonna clean you up, my friend. Oh yeah, even with a little bit of a critical. Ooh, and hey, look at that. The animation lets me know I've got the red cell key. So now I'm guessing I can open up these red doors right here. Before I do that, I want to see what's in this barrel. A big barrel needs a big tool to open. Oh, a big barrel? Yeah, yes, it does. I'm not going to open this with bare hands. Well, okay. So this room is clear. This room still has this big pile of green stuff in it. And based on all the color coordination and all the amounts of hours that I've played this before, I'm pretty sure that's health. And we're a little light in the health department. But we're also going to have to do something about our mana. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Now, I'm going to decide to, yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I think I'm just going to use this big pile. And I'm going to go and I'm going to do the mana water there. And there may have been a more efficient way to do that, but I don't necessarily want to give up every trick. And let's start opening red cages. Come here, sucker. Spare me. Let me escape. I'll teach you waterfall spell. Very powerful magic. Soaks everything. Okay, so he's saying, hey, you know, if I spare his life and I let him escape, he's going to teach me waterfall spell. And we saw that spell. We saw that spell. The blue mob cast it when all that water dumped down, and it looked like a pretty cool spell. And I don't know how else I might get this. So I'm going to say, well, okay, for a spell, I will let you survive. Your option is never, all the ooze die. And if you do this, and if you kill him, he's going to replenish all of your mana. But, spoiler, do the fingers in the ears things, blah, 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 ready? This is the only way to get the spell. So, welcome back. And if you turn around and say, well, okay, for a spell, he's going to say, there's your new spell, new waterfall spell, and he's not even going to wait. He's going to take off, and he's going to escape. Let's see what's in this jar. I need a big tool to bust this jar open. Again with the big tool. Okay, so behind the red door, let me make sure, let me test all of this. Yeah, I still can't get in the green doors. I didn't use the default. I went and got some door opening sounds to use for those. I got 2 red doors here. I've got a little brown ooze over here, and I've got a big reddish orangey gumdrop looking thing over there behind the room that's got the lava and stuff in it. So that all looks kind of imposing. So I'm going to take on this guy and see what happens. He is brown. He's got green coming out of his earth, so that makes green coming out of his mouth. So that makes me think that maybe he's got some kind of earth-based attack or earth-based. He's got a little bit of red in his eye, and if we've been learning anything here in dungeon level 2, in the dungeon, hopefully we're learning that these colors kind of betray what's going on with these mobs. And the weakness is shown in the eyes, and the base element of the mob is usually, you know, in the mouth or in the coloration of the mob. So knowing all of that, I would use fire to start off my volley with, just to see where we get. 107, that's a pretty good hit. And he's shooting poison and acid spitting at me, so he definitely is some kind of earth-based something. But I haven't seen him before, so I'm going to identify him and rule out any doubt. He is an earth ooze, so that he's kind of a mud-looking ooze, isn't he? And again, this has been recolored from the default blue mob that they give you. All these little oozes have been recolored. His max HP is 520, his max MP is 95. He spits acid and poison, and he is weakest to fire, and he stinks like poo and spits burning ammonia. Nice. And of course, in identifying him, he gets that extra strike. But now we know for sure. We are just going to rain down fire on this sucker. Unfortunately, fire is going to use our TP, and that's not going to build up for the hero spell. And our HP is already down. This guy's a little bit savage. So we're going to bust in here, and we're going to use our healing spell. He is going to hit us again right off the bat, down to 116. I'm going to use this healing spell again. And you might think, oh no, now you're just trapped in him hitting and you healing. There is a little bit of give and take. There's a little bit of hit and miss. We're going to get back in here with our fire, and we're going to deal back a little what he's dealing. He's missing again. Our good armor coming into effect. I'm not going to bother trying to hit him with a green baton. He's earth-based. He's not going to get any kind of extra damage off of that. And our margins are close, but I think it's right here to the end. Yeah, we're going to take him down. It is true, I still cannot get into the barrels. I still don't have any sort of big tool. And I cannot get in. I did not get a green key drop. And I did not fare well in the stats, but I've got a lot of MP left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that MP to heal myself yet again and use my item to replenish my mana. And I'm going to go ahead. You can always, if you want to, you can always save your game after every fight so that if you die in the next fight, you can reload if you're trying to preserve that. I don't want any deaths on my record. Well, let's go take on this big red gumdrop. I'm going to mention right now that I am using Tyler Warren RPG Battlers. This one's not even colored. This one's used pretty much straight off the page as Tyler Warren intended. Some of those I did color for my own reasons. The Wizard of Ooze, the main character that you see in the title, he was actually an Emperor Ooze, and he was colored red and purple. And I blued him up to make him more mana-based and make him a wizard. If you want, if you're just getting started out like I was with this game, there are a lot of assets out there in the community, and Tyler Warren has a series of RPG battlers that are free, and this is one of his. And since he is all red and all fiery looking, I'm not even gonna guess. I'm pretty sure. And we're gonna use our new big waterfall spell. Now this is gonna cost 25 MP. It's going to gain 15 TP. It's going to hit all targets, so everybody on the screen gets hit. It does critical. It is water damage. But the important thing about this spell that you learn when you read the description is not only that it's strong against fire, but it causes a state called soaked. And when you are soaked, you have an enhancement to earth damage. And we're going to see how that plays out. When you're soaked, there is an enhancement to earth damage. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cast a waterfall spell. As a fire element, he is using the fire attack, and we see that that fire attack comes in red, and it's got that extra flame animation. And we see that that soaked state is on him. He's blue, and he's soaking wet, and he's standing in water. So we want to try one of those earth damages. Static Spark is an earth damage, and I guess the idea here is he's soaking wet and he's standing in water. What happens if we hit him with lightning? 186. Boom. And that is so much power coming off of that water and so much power coming off that element that now we've got that 57 TP. We can come in here and we can use that hero shout. That hero shout lays down 126. Our stats are looking good. No reason not to take the advantage. Let's hit him with waterfalls again and wipe him out. Now, somebody else might come along with just the small water spell. Somebody else might come along with just, one of the other elemental attacks and make that a really, really long battle. But if you read the description that says, hey, this state leaves them soaked and that enhances earth damage, and so you turn around and you use it in an earth attack, and then you're dealing high damage, and because you're using the hints and because you're stacking the spells in a way that enhances damage, you're going to move through these combats much quicker. You're not going to have as much trouble. Oh, we got the green cell key. And the green cell key right up here has this pickaxe. You can use this to break stuff. Oh, yes, we can. And I got all these barrels down here. Let's go shopping, boys and girls. Let's go shopping. Okay, so here where it's obvious and it's going to happen, and I've already told you that it's going to happen, you don't even have to hit the enter key. You don't even have to hit the space bar. You've got the pickaxe. If you touch something that the pickaxe opens, it automatically opens. So we got 3 new health potions. We got 3 new mana water. Pickaxe splinters the barrel. We got 3 new health potions, and we've got a green key. We just opened the green door up top. We know we got a green key, and this guy right here has got a treasure chest. So I'm gonna hit him first with 3 dispellers and combat glasses and suit up. We have completed the armor set. We now have the new armor graphics. We've got the enhanced goggles, we've got the full cape and not just the scarf. We no longer look like we're not wearing a shirt. We've got the new armor. We'll take a look at that in a moment. With the new armor, we're feeling more confident. We've taken down one of these earth guys before, but we don't. Oh, yes, we do. We got enough TP to cast fire. Let's just get into it. He starts off with acid spit. It's a hard hit. It's a hard hit right off the bat. We're using fire again. Static spell. Oh, earth magic. Gonna hit me with some lightning. That's all right. Our armor's holding up. It's not going as difficult as we did. Ooh, we bounced back. We reflected his static spark. That saved us a little bit of damage. This isn't going anywhere near as rough as our first fight with an Earth Ooze. These guys are tough, and I made them tough. But if you get in there and you get your piece of armor and you complete the set, and you stick to what works. A new spell, poison. So once you've defeated a couple of those brown guys, a couple of those earth oozes, you get the spell. And this is, again, a reoccurring theme in the game. When you defeat an ooze you haven't met, or a number of oozes that you haven't met, you learn the lightning that is inherent to them. I've got a big pile of blue mana sitting here. I'm going to use the mana that I have to run up the rest of my health. And then I'm going to hit this mana pile. It's kind of tingly. So every step along the way, if you think about using your resources strategically, if you don't waste what you have before you get more, you're constantly able to re-level up. Fuel back up. This guy right here has got a big green pile sitting next to him. This guy right here has got a barrel. I'll be able to open both, but maybe after I fight both of them, I'm going to be ready for that health up. So I'm going to hit this guy first. I guess I could hit the other guy first, and if I needed it, I use it, and if I didn't need it, move on. But, oh well, I made a decision. We're playing through. This guy's got a red eye. He's got a yellow mouth. I'm going to assume that he's more earth-based, and that he's weak to fire. And here off this next hit, I'm going to have enough TP that I'm going to be able to use Identify and tell for sure if that's the truth. He's a Violet Ooze. His max HP is 440. His max MP is 88. He casts Blind Lightning. We hadn't heard of that before. And Acid. He is weak to fire. And that's, again, that is betrayed in the color of his eye. He blinds you, so you're easier to spit on. So this Blind Lightning is obviously some next version up of lightning that we hadn't heard. We've just been using static spark. And his attack is green and lightning based, so again, that betrays he's an earth element. Earth is weak to fire. His eye is red, which betrays his weakness. Let's just lay that fire down. He's wearing away on us, but we were pretty strong out of the gate, and we took him out. Let's see what the barrel gives us. 3 more health potions. How are we doing in the items? Let's see. We got 15 health potions, 4 mana, and 3 dispel herbs for the poison. We got the suit gem and the depths gem. And it's time for the very last guy. Very last of the little oozes here in our little dungeon of madness. Dungeon of madness. Blinding lightning. And he does blind us. And that would make him harder to hit. But we're going to cast spells. And with spells, you don't need quite as much eye-hand coordination. Now, I am down to 47 HP. That's getting dangerously close to end of life. And looking at him, it looks like he's still got half of his HP. So I'm going to back up. I hit a little healing surge right here. And he's going to hit me, which is going to take some of it back. Oh, nope, he's going to miss. I got a little regen. I got some TP. Let's finish this. Yeah, attack. A little bit of earth. A little bit of earth attack. A little sparkly, electrically, a little green. Oh, he's so close. Healing! No! What? Okay, so some mobs, as you get farther down the road, they do have that ability to, in the last 10 to 20% of their life, turn around and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm finna die. I'm going to use a healing spell. So that will become more common as you get farther down the road. You know, stuff happens. He still has enough HP, and earth to earth is not going to get a damage bonus. But I've got 170 HP. I don't think he can take out that much AP in one hit. So let's use the static spark. Yeah, see, it didn't take him all the way out. I didn't think so, but I didn't think he'd get enough on me. Ow, but now I'm completely out of MP. He's just got a little bit of HP left. I'm going to hit him, but I'm going to hit him with my green baton. Let's see what happens. Ah, it takes him out. So, again, I didn't make it impossible. Oh, and we learned a new spell, Blind Lightning. So, having take out both Violet Ooze, we have learned Blind Lightning. Now, we have got a big, huge stack of HP here, so we don't have to use another potion, but we are completely out of MP. We are completely out of MP. So, we don't have a lot of mana water, but man, we don't have any choice. We ain't got no mana MP. Let's go look at our equipment real quick. We're still carrying around this baton that we found in the level 1. We got the Cloak of Mighty Magic, which we reviewed. We got the combat goggles, but the last thing we picked up was that leather armor with a water resistance of +3. However, that green leather armor is weak to fire, -3. It increases our defense +3 or +6. It gives us a magical defense +3, max HP of +1, evasion of +3%, and an HP regen. I guess I discussed that before. So at this point, with no further ado, it's time to take on the last boss in the level. And that's a blue wave. That is a Tyler Warren RPG battler. Again, that was resourced to the community, and I use that for free. I put him in the credits, of course, both in the front and in the end. And he is a water-based element. He's a big blue wave. I don't even bother coloring his eyes because it's pretty obvious his element. And by now, here through the process of level 2, with all these different colors of mobs and all these different elemental weaknesses, you should pretty much know that fire is weak to water, water is weak to earth, earth is weak to fire. It even makes a little bit of sense. And earth, we know we've got static spark, we've got poison spit, and we've got blinding lightning. And if we hit him right off the bat with something earth-based, we see we do 105 damage, but we see that that's a very small percentage of his health bar. And we know that we can go and find out what his max HP is. So let's use a little bit of that TP that we built up. And let's go use Identify. Wave Ooze. His max HP is 680, so this is the toughest guy we've faced yet, and his max MP is 280. He's a water-based element, so he is strong with the force. He's got a lot of mana. Gushes water and waterfalls, weak to earth, kind of a douche. if he's weak to earth and he's got all those HP points and he's already knocked us halfway down, you would think, oh my god, this is going to be tough. But we got a spell called Waterfalls. Now you're saying, Matt, he's water based. If you hit him with water, you're not going to get the element bonus, and you're right. But if we use Waterfalls and we get him soaking wet, and now he's in a state of soak. Oh, okay. Well, he was in a state of soaked, but then the magic that he used against us reflected back, and it hit him, and the damage that he took nullified the state. So he knocked off his own soak state. So we got to give it another try. Let's hit Waterfalls again, and it misses. Well, he's certainly putting up a fight. Let's do this. Let's use the fact that our TP is now built up to 50 and use Hero Shout. And let's stun him. And maybe even get the crit. No. He's down to 111. He's stunned for a moment. Let's take that moment and let's cover our base and let's hit ourselves with a healing surge. Now our HP's good and high. He uses a random attack. He's confused, and so he's just using the manual swing. He misses us. Let's go, and let's try to set this up one more time. Even though now he's only got 25% of his health left, let's use this Waterfalls. He is now in a soak state. He uses Waterfalls. I'm in a soak state. If he hits me with an Earth spell at this point, the damage is going to be increased. The same's true for him. He's soaking wet. He is vulnerable to Earth, but he's already vulnerable to Earth. He's doubly vulnerable to Earth, and he's out of HP. So bang, that hits for 430, and we're out of there. So, and we got the animation. We learned a new spell, Healing Blast, when we feel a little rumbling. And we level up, and the gate is open, and the level's been cleared. Let's go look at that Healing Blast. Let's go look at that new spell that we just got. We've got Healing Surge already. Now we've got Healing Blast. That requires 45 MP. Wow. It's against the user, but it does critical. It's a earth healing. It's a next level healing spell. So we're going to have to see what that means when we check that out later. At this point, you should have all of these spells. If you decide to kill the light blue ooze that is in the cell, he's not going to give you that waterfall spell. But that waterfall spell causes that soak state, which enhances earth damage, and that's critical for all the rest of the gameplay. So you're going to need that. Spoiler. And at this point, if you really, really, really don't want the spoiler, you should probably, let's see, let's go look at the next level. Okay, level 2 completed. Check menu, item, archive for accomplishments. So I've got in items over here, in the game engine, the game engine gives you this area for key items. I didn't really want to go down the road of key items. This is an arcade style based game. It moves fast. I didn't want to have to, go back and find the item. That item's necessary. The keys that you pick up, once you pick them up, you have them, and you just open whatever door you need. So I have variables here that are tied to items that are just kind of, your achievement along the way. So at this point, we've had 12 kills. We've opened 9 chests. We've found 1 weapon, which is the green baton. We've picked up 85 things along the way. That's a total pickup. We've found 6 pieces of armor. We now have the second complete set. And we found 2 accessories. So we've found both accessories that go with both armor sets. And I can demonstrate even right in here using the gems. I can go back to the depths. And there I am with my depths armor. And I can go back to the dungeon set. And there I am with the dungeon set that we just learned, that we just picked up. Level 2 is completed. The dungeon suit is complete. This lets you know whether or not you got all of the pieces for the dungeon suit. Here is one of my little ads where it says support the game, you know, and suggests you can go buy a full purchase version. The reality is this is just a mock-up. The download that you can download right now is the full purchase version. It comes with the Apex developers level. It has all the God mode and the God spells. This is just a proof of concept. And this is what it would look like if I was selling the game, and if this was a free demo, you'd have a little support the game here. And this is an add to one of my other interests, the webcomics, etc., where you can go, and all that's free too. I've just got a whole bunch of comics that I've done over the years. Coming up is the Lava Labyrinth. Find the lava suit, the armor set, and the gem. Find the hidden bone accessory. Find the secret lava pit and staff. And so this just lets you know what to expect in the next coming level, what what you should be trying to accomplish. At this point, if you do not want any spoilers, if you want to figure out the secret of level 1 all by yourself, go ahead and go to the next level where I'm just going to play through that and not reveal any of its spoilers. Thanks very much. Like and subscribe, all that. You know what to do if you want to tag along. I'll see you in the next video. But if you want to know what the secret is, follow me. Of course, we had these barrels and this jar over here that we could not open. And once we got the red key and came in and defeated the lava boss and came up here and got the pickaxe, we could open the barrels and the jars. But something else that you could have done once you learned how to defeat the earth ooze, the brown ooze, what you could have done was you could have come back here to the depths. And remember this clue right here, find the tool to solve the secret of level 1. Once you had that axe, you could come back here to the depths, and you could come here to this little crack that gives you the little prompt, and you could use the pickaxe to puncture through the cavern wall. And come down here, and this little area is being guarded by this earth ooze. You already know these guys are jerks. Just start right off with hitting them with the fire. I built these guys to be hard. I dread fighting them myself. Even well armed, they can get it up on you. They can wear you down with this AoE poison really quick. You miss a couple times, they get a couple of good hits in, they will take you down. So this one is going pretty textbook. We're both knocking the snot out of each other. He hasn't, oh, he's missed. So I'm down to 153 on the HP. He's down to about 20%. Oh, he's hanging on with that one little slice of life. He didn't hit me too badly. If I miss... Okay. So, you see, they can take it out of you. They really, really can. And it's not a problem because I've got enough regenerate. Oh, let's go try the new spell. Here's the Healing Blast spell with the 45. Booyah! Yeah, that filled me up pretty good. And I've got the MP regen, and the MP regen even works when you're running around. And you can see here in my status screen, you can see down here the default of the RPG Maker MV. The default is that this is your money slot, and it shows how much money you have. I turned that into the death slot. This is how many times you've died. And so far as of yet, we've been pretty lucky. We haven't died yet. But it's not uncommon to die throughout the game. And again, I don't penalize for that. All you just reset in that level. Whatever progress you've made in that level is still there. You go back to the beginning of it, and you have to take on whatever mob you were fighting. There's no penalty for deaths, but it does rank up right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll probably see that later. But the point of killing this guy is to get the Sword of Flame. And when we go and we look, the Sword of Flame has a resistance of +3 against Earth. It's weak to water at a +3%, but it has a raging attack of +17 with a +7 luck and a +3 hit. And this is probably the biggest attack bonus you can get from a weapon in the game, aside from the +3 version of the biggest staff. So if you go and you take your pickaxe and you come back here and you get this, you're going to be much better suited for all of the rest of the game. And you can even come back and get that, the moment that you have the pickaxe, and you can be using the fire sword to fight the purple guys that are in here. You can be using the fire sword to fight the brown guy down here, and that gives you a little bit of a leg up. But I didn't want to do that in the playthrough. I wanted to save it for last so that people that didn't want the spoiler didn't have to see it. So now at this point, things really are complete. There's nothing else that you can do. I am going to turn around and I'm going to save our progress here on file number 3. It's going to show that we're in the level up level. We're level 3, what our playtime, total saves, pickup count, secret found. It shows the secret that we picked up the flaming sword. We've killed 13 mobs in doing so, and we haven't yet died. So this is film number 3. I apologize for the pause in the middle and for being interrupted by the AT&T solicitor banging on my door, but this is how things go. I'm not trying to win any Emmys here. I'm just trying to introduce you to my new game and explain all these little different attributes. If you are playing my game over at webgamesetc.com and you wanted to know a little bit more about it, thanks for coming here. If you're thinking about playing my game, and you wanted to see what it was all about before you jumped in, then thanks for watching these. This is my first RPG Maker game, and I've worked hard on this proof of concept of a fast dungeon crawler, RPG elements, arcade style game. Something that you don't have to commit hundreds of hours to. You can just sit down and play it in an evening if you want to. And the next level's coming up, Lava Labyrinth. Lava Labyrinth is coming up. I will see you in the next video. You know what to do. See you there.